Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. As you can see, we are no longer in my room. We are at my favorite jogging track. I just decided that it would be nice to have a nice change of environment, except that it just rained cats and dogs last night and there are so many mosquitoes around and I'm being eaten alive. So I'll just make this quick. The topic is about the 10 things you might hate should you quit your job and choose to work on your own. I think that there is a certain romanticism attached to the whole notion of quitting your job in pursuit of, deeper meaning and happiness. But the reality behind it is, there are pros and cons to everything. It's just that when you're dreaming about something that you don't yet have, it is easy to only see the nice things about it. Point number one is, if you choose to use your passion as a way to earn income for yourself, then there's a very real possibility that you might resent it. This is because when someone says something is their passion, it's probably something that they love doing because it gives them a lot of pleasure, and rarely it is tested by the differing expectations when you have a customer on the other side. Meaning, let's say you love cooking, right, on weekends because it gives you a lot of happiness. People say that your food is nice and you de-stress. So imagine having to cook for 500 people. Then it's a completely different thing. I mean, cooking is a nice place of refuge for you, but once you have to do it under pressure, then you might stress so much that you might actually start hating the whole process of cooking, which is a shame, because not everyone has something that they love doing, and if you have it, then I believe that is something that you should protect. The second point is, when you work for yourself, you have to chart your own path into the future. The nice thing about the corporate world is that everything is prepared for you, even your possible paths into the future. Do you want to be a department head? You want to be in marketing or HR or investment, sales? And the paths are quite well trodden, meaning that hundreds of people before you have gone down that path, and they can tell you almost everything that you need to know. So you have mentors, you've got friends, this huge resource of knowledge that you can just tap into by just asking them, hey, can you please tell me about this? So when it comes to working for yourself, this resource is severely limited because it's not a conventional path. So very few people have gone through it, and even if they tell you how they do it, it might not necessarily be what you want to do. For instance, for me to come to the conclusion that I want to do self-improvement articles and videos like this took me close to 2 years, and nobody could have told me that unless, if I had not gone through the entire process of trial and error and, trying out many different things. Point number 3 is, you have to be willing to downgrade your lifestyle if you hope to sustain yourself longer. Because if most people fall into the trap of, they get a pay raise and then they increase their standard of living, you get nicer cars, nicer clothes, better place to live, and then eat at nicer places. There's so many mosquitoes here. So using this logic, if you stop working and you stop having income, then your lifestyle should reflect this zero income as well. No more eating outside at nice places. Sell your car and get something cheap, or just take public transport, or if you're a fitness enthusiast, just run. Probably not in Malaysia, I know. Point number 4 is, you have to learn how to motivate yourself. It's because without supervision, humans tend to sort of let go and relax, especially when something does not affect them directly. So a boss is there to push you and motivate you. And when you step out of the corporate world and start working for yourself, you realize that having a boss is actually a privilege. So because you are your own boss now, you have to motivate yourself. The real challenge comes when you hit those difficult days, and they will become increasingly more difficult the longer you're at it. You will feel like, maybe the quality doesn't matter so much, or maybe it's alright to take a break today and then maybe take a 1-week holiday and go somewhere. You have to be stern with yourself. You have to be your own boss. So this kind of motivation is very important, because if you let yourself go, then it might feel nice for a while because you have time flexibility and you can do whatever you want, but the truth is you will feel really crappy about yourself. So don't do it. Point number 5, you will be cut off from your social network. I mean, remember the first day you walked into your office, there are so many people that you have to be introduced to, unless you work in a small team. But basically, being at the workplace means you get your entire social network, your colleagues, for free. You don't even have to work for it. So when you work by yourself, this social network is cut off, and you have to put extra effort to call them out and have lunch with them and maintain contact. When you leave and you start doing your own thing, you will find that it's quite hard for a lot of people to understand why it is you're doing what you're doing. So I suggest, join Facebook groups or clubs of like-minded people, so you will not be so alone and lost. Point number 6. What is point number 6? Ooh, big monkey. But point number 6 is you have to find a workplace, because again, outside of the corporate world, the workplace doesn't magically just appear.
Hey.
I am surrounded by so many monkeys right now. But the problem with it is, oh my god, they are having sex right in front of me. Why? Why? I just want to make a video. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you what they're doing. It's private. I'm scared. Okay, this is the last time I'm doing a video in this place. Right, so all the monkeys have gone past me, I hope, and I am still at point number 6. The workspace is very important, because that is where you will do the bulk of your work. And if you don't have a dedicated working space, then there's a high possibility that you might not do work and start relaxing and get distracted. If you have a room in your house that you can spare and turn it into your office, it would be good. But the problem is, for me, my office is also next to my bedroom, and whenever I feel tired, then the bed is just a few feet away, and I find myself, on days that I'm really tired, I find myself giving in and sleeping, and then that's it, a few hours of my work day is gone. So also, when you work at home and your family members see you always around, and they think like, hey, maybe since you have nothing to do anyway, why don't you go and run some errands on my behalf? So that's a bad thing. If you want to avoid all that, I would suggest working outside, and there are obviously lots of office spaces you can rent, but they are very pricey. And what I do is, I don't need much, I just need my brains and my laptop. So I just sit at a cafe. On my super cheapskate days, I would sit at the mama stall, but because there are so many smokers there, sometimes I have to run to McDonald's, and their coffee and tea are really cheap compared to the other cafes. If I want to be really comfortable, then I would pay 15 ringgit for Starbucks or Coffee Bean, and I just sit there for hours on end. Point number 7, any attempt at self-improvement will be at your own personal cost. In order for you to move forward, you have to keep educating yourself, and education is really expensive. But of all the costs associated with working for yourself, do not scrimp on self-education, because if you stop educating yourself, then you will be quickly left behind. People will be better than you, you will have nothing to offer, and you won't be inspired. So I scrimp on absolutely anything except books, because truthfully speaking, the asset here is you. It's not your belongings, it's not your car or your clothes or your house. It's what you have in here and what you have to offer to other people. So keep educating yourself, even if it's expensive. I mean, that's where money is worth it and well spent. Point number 8 is, the more someone loves you, the more angry they will be when you indicate that you want to take a less conventional path. Because people who love you are deeply concerned about your financial security, and your security in the future, basically. So when they see you step out of a comfortable job to try something that is not certain at all, and they have no idea how they are going to make money, and to the detriment of your future in the corporate world, then naturally they get very angry, and they can say some really hurtful things, all obviously with your interest at heart. But if you have resolved to do something, then I say you should do it. Don't do it halfway, because in the end, the life that you lead belongs to you. It's not them who have to live your life, it's you. So do it on your own terms if you can afford to. Just tell them nicely, I love you so much, but please back off because this is my decision. Point number 9. From time to time, you will be attacked by this nasty thing called self-doubt, especially after having a very serious conversation with your close friends or family who really disagree with what you're doing, and you will start believing what they say, or even without their help, you start doubting yourself and if you've made the right decision. We cannot really avoid feeling self-doubt. It's very human. But on days that you feel really down, my solution is to do something kind for someone else. So just doing an act of kindness will lift you from this vicious spiral of self-blame and self-doubt. When you're down, you have to talk to yourself like you are your best friend. If you see a friend just moping around, you wouldn't kick them while they're down. So you shouldn't kick yourself while you're down either. You have to learn how to tell yourself good things. And obviously, a nice friend right now would be a good thing. And for me, it's obviously my good friend Mabel. We motivate each other, so I'm really lucky in that sense. And finally, point number 10 is the most obvious one. You will have no stable income, or you will have no income at all. And I know this is the most obvious part of quitting your job and working for yourself, but sometimes it doesn't really sink in until the end of the very first month of your unemployment. I just really want to, really stress this point that there will be no money. When you go to your bank account, there will be no income, and you'll have to pay for your bills or whatever you need from your own savings. And you will not see your money grow bigger and bigger and bigger each year. You will see your savings shrinking and shrinking and shrinking every day. So you'll have to start thinking twice about everything that you buy, and this is the kind of feeling that not everyone can deal with. If this kind of feeling keeps you up at night, then I suggest you don't do it, because it's not a fun feeling. So just let that sink in. I don't want you to quit your job and then after 1 month you realize, oh shit, I really cannot live without stable income. Obviously the point of working for yourself is eventually you want to get there. You want to have stable income for yourself from your own business, but it might take a while to get there. It might take 1 year, it might take 5 years, and until then you have to hold on and just be strong and keep doing it. So conclusion, if you're comfortable working 9 to 5, do not feel pressured to leave your job for deeper meaning and happiness, because honestly, if you can find it in the corporate world, then do it. It's easy, it's practical. If you find everything you need there, then why leave? Everybody's got different things that they want. The only reason I left is because it's not that I wasn't happy. I was actually very happy with my job. I had a nice boss and nice teammates, and I liked my job. It's just that there's a much stronger pull out there that the bank couldn't give me. And right now I feel much happier, even though I don't have income for now. I feel more fulfilled writing, because I love writing, and talking about subjects to help people. And this is what I want, no matter how silly it sounds. And I'm sure that one day it will lead me somewhere. And if it doesn't, then I will trust myself to find something better for myself. For those who, after listening to all these 10 points, and you still feel like you want to quit your job and work for yourself, there are more introspection, a process of introspection that you have to go through to really know what your fears are and come to terms with it, and what makes you happy, what drives you, your motivation, your underlying, the crux of your character. You have to know that before you go and do something by yourself. So next week I will talk about steps that I took to discover what it is that I really want to do. It's a whole process of trial and error, but I will put it in a way that is practical and easy for you to do. So please look forward to that. Thank you for spending time to watch my video today. Bye bye. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm so done with all these mosquitoes and more mosquitoes. So I'm just gonna go home and hopefully whatever I've recorded is enough.